Don't talk bad about my boy Michael Bobo, Joseph. Michael Bolton, Bobo. All right, so we're talking about Bobo here. Michael Bolton, the fringiest of the fringe candidates, the guy with absolutely no. Sarah Palin's got a better chance than Michael Bolton, former UN ambassador under George Bush. Mr. Bobo has absolutely no chance of winning. He's a zealot and a weirdo, and he's got a creepy mustache. Joseph?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
So we can
to
move
all
on
of
from
that.
John Bolton then. I don't even know.
Um,
What does he do on a daily basis? Do you think he just gets up and grooms his mustache for 3 hours before he writes out a really angry blog? Jeez, man. All right. So on a more serious note, though, we forgot somebody. We forgot Marco Rubio, who I was so certain he was going to be the vice presidential candidate last time, and if I had to guess, I'd say today, if I had to put money on it, he will be the vice presidential candidate this time, assuming that Jeb Bush is not the Republican nominee. If he is, then it's no point in having two candidates from Florida. But let's say that there's a candidate, Christie or Scott Walker, then the logical choice is Rubio for the potential Hispanic votes.
mhm. I would agree with that. I think Rubio would work best with a
A water bottle
with
to
a
keep his throat from being parched.
I'm sorry, say that
He's
again.
best with a water bottle to keep his throat from being parched. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. But besides that, what were you
Wait,
saying?
is that what is that a reference to?
That's a reference to
Isn't
his
there?
State of the Union response when he was like drinking water constantly and smacking his lips.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, continue.
I think his deal. I think the thing that would anger. I don't think he would do well as Bush's running mate, just because the to get that base energized, um, which I think is something that the Republican field has not been able to do the last two elections. I think they're going to need somebody. I think Bush and Rubio have problems with the base on immigration,
Mm.
and this isn't a discussion at all as whether or not I think their stances on immigration are right or not. But I think Rubio would do better balanced with a libertarian candidate.
Mm.
I think they would do. I think they would do better with a. I think they would do better with a. I might be completely talking out of my butt here, but my instinct says if they the I think the Republican ticket as a whole would do better if they can both have that establishment support and get their base energized.
I can't see it,
I,
man. I can't see it at all. That I can't see a libertarian. So you've got basically, if you're the Democrats and you're trying to write the playbook against, let's say, a Paul Rubio ticket, it's so easy because you've got Paul, who's a crazy person. That's how you characterize him, as a crazy. And you've got Rubio, who looks like he's 13 years old. He's still got zits on his nose. You've got an untested person with a crazy person. That's so easy to tear down. No way.
well, maybe okay, maybe not maybe a Scott Walker.
Yes,
Scott Walker has
definitely.
more libertarian bona fides than I think has.
He's got more
And I
coke
use
than
that. I'm not using that
libertarian.
word libertarian and to mean like the Libertarian Party. I
Yeah,
guess I mean
yeah.
it more the libertarian leaning candidates.
Okay.
Like
So
if that makes any
Walker.
sense. I think Rubio would do well to accent a Scott Walker,
I
but
think you're right.
if it's a Bush and a Rubio ticket, I
It's
think that's going to
redundant.
fail for the same reason that John McCain and Sarah. I think that's going to fail for the same reason Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan failed last election cycle, and the same reason that McCain and Palin failed in 2008.
You're probably right. And like Jeb Bush, despite his setbacks and despite his just unseemly like Bushness, he does speak fluent Spanish. Habla español muy bien, and I think he's going to have a pull with Hispanics if he's the nominee that he won't need a Rubio on his side. Plus, Rubio is a Cuban, and I don't know if that Well, he's obviously American, but he's of Cuban heritage, and I don't know if how that, like for example, impacts his perception with Mexicans or with Venezuelans or people from other Latin American countries, how they view Cubans. I have no idea, but that's a conversation for another time. The conclusion from this is that John Bolton has no chance, and Marco Rubio has a good chance of being vice president. Joseph, of all the Republican candidates right now, if you had to call it today with a gun to your head, who's going to be the nominee?
Shit. I would say Bush is probably the most likely one. Bush or Walker.
Okay, I agree with you there. I would put it on Bush, but only time will tell.